And welcome to 59 Minutes. My name is Levi Kones. This morning we are going to be discussing matters to do with inspiration. I know that many of you are focused on what's happening in the country in terms of coronavirus and how to stay safe, how to wash your hands and how to keep clean, which is really, really good. However, we also have other things that are going on away from just the virus. One of the things that has even given us the biggest scourge in this country is the issue of road accidents. For far too long, we have lost many people on our roads, including this morning. I was just reading about the accident at Eastern Bypass. And we have also had a lot of people who have been injured, maimed. Some of them have lost limbs to road carnage. This morning, I have got a gentleman who is going to tell us his story concerning road accidents and what happened to him. It happened to him. He'll give us a story of what happened, as well as even how he ended up writing a book about it. So join me as we listen to Jim Kisembe. Karibu sana.
Asante. How are you?
Very fine.
Very masiku.
Niko salama.
Asante.
Sina neno, glad to have you here.
Thank you. My name is Jimmy Kisembe.
Yeah.
Or James Wahomba.
Yes.
I have two names all. Zote zangu.
Zote zako.
I am happy to be here.
So, glad to have you here. Let's start from the beginning. You were a victim of road carnage.
Road carnage. A careless driver, actually.
Okay. Take us to that day and tell us, just in a nutshell, before that day, what kind of person were you? How was your life like before that accident?
Before that accident, one, I'm very tall, 6'7". I just cleared campus. I had so many dreams, but I wanted to achieve so many things in life. But it all changed on June 9th, 2001. It was around 1 p.m. when we got a horrific accident in Kitale, and that is where it all began, a journey of 3 years.
Take us to that moment, 1 p.m. What was happening? What were you doing? Where were you going?
I was at home. We had gone home with my brother. We were at home, I remember, with my sister Jen. Then we left. We left because where the market from home is like 2 kilometers away. Then
where's home?
Home is in Kiminini, a place called Kiminini, Kitale. And we decided, me and my brother, we decided to take a walk, just to the market, then come back. And then I remember my sister, you've read my book, you've seen there's a place I said, the lunch that never was. My sister told me, please, let's have lunch before you go. We said, no, we're not going far. We're just coming back right now. And we took off. We went with Philip. Then when we got the road, the road is around 600 meters from home. This guy comes to the truck, it's somebody we knew. He says, Jimmy, hey, what's up? Where are you going? We are going to the market. And let me give you a ride. And I had this deep feeling,
a lorry?
Yes, a truck. That's something that is not right. There are times when your heart tells you something.
You had a sixth sense.
Sixth sense, please listen to it. I didn't. So we boarded the truck, and one thing I noticed, that's why at times before I even go anywhere, when I see parents carrying their kids on the driver's seat, I feel very bad. Because this guy had the son seated on his feet and he's driving.
On his laps,
On his laps. And like after 500, 600 meters from the time we boarded, the last thing I
Wait, you boarded and you sat where?
At the back. Because there were boys seated at the back because they were transporting some maize. So I was like, let me sit with these guys. Just sit. He told me, come and sit at the front. And I'll sit with these guys.
Open track.
Open track. Tukae tuongee. And then after, he started driving very fast. And I was still feeling uneasy. Something in my head told me, this guy is going too fast. This guy is going too fast. I didn't even finish because what I remember is seeing, I saw a lady pass the truck. There was a lady walking on the side of the road. So the truck just swerved slowly, hit that lady. And that was it. Those are the last things I remember, because the last memory I have is seeing the truck coming towards me. Because when it threw us off, I landed, then the truck came and landed on my leg. That is the last thing I remember. Then there was the screams of the normal accident when things happen. Yeah, and it began like that. The painful journey began from there. And from there, people came. There was a rescue. I remember first thing crying out because I saw my brother lying some distance away. I didn't even know I was that injured. So I was calling out to my brother.
So the aftermath, you've now...
I'm still at the scene just a few seconds after the accident when now the dust is settling in. You know, that instinct, down. I saw my brother lying somewhere. He's called Philip. I was like, Philip, don't leave me. I didn't know. He woke up. Then the truck had landed again, just somewhere across the road. So guys were coming and taking off. People looking at me and running away. So I didn't understand.
This truck, had it had an accident with another vehicle, or it was just lost control?
He was just careless. This guy just, because it was a Maram road and he's going fast. I think he just lost control. I think the kid, because apparently the person who was sitting with him in front later told me the kid dropped from his laps too. So I think when he concentrated on the child, and that's when it happened.
Oh.
So she hit this lady. Unfortunately, she died. And
the child?
The child. Okay, and then what happened? This guy, when he came out of the truck, when guys were looking at me, then, and you're in shock. You don't know what is going on. You don't know. I didn't know how much I was injured. So he came and looked at me. I remember he looked at me and he took off with this child. Until now, I think I saw him after around 8-9 years.
So now let's get your people are looking at you and running away. Why? What has happened?
I was injured because apparently when I tried to wake up, I couldn't. Then I looked at my leg, it was turned the other way. It was facing back. And the bones were out.
Your left leg?
My left leg. The bones were out, and then, so that is when I started screaming. Then there's this, I remember there's a mama who came and looked at me because she knew as it was not far from home. Then she told me, my son, you're injured. Please relax, calm down.
Have you felt the pain yet at this moment, or is there still adrenaline?
Not yet. That is adrenaline. I'm still actually looking at my foot. I'm not believing. There are some things that happen. You say, no, this is not me. This is a dream. This is a dream. I will wake up. So when they tried to move me, that is when it hit. The pain. Because the leg was totally shattered. Because when they lifted me, just went. And the bones were out of it. Through the socks, through the trouser.
So now so what happened from there? I'm even, I'm just in shock.
And then from there, because I remember the first pickup that came, then the guy said, can we please help us take this guy stopped? This guy took off. Said, siezi beba watu wamekufa. Siezi beba watu wamekufa. This is the way Kenyans, when you see somebody in an accident, we leave them. It happened. It happens to me. Then the second pickup came. Guys were screaming, oh, Mtoto madam, Mtoto madam, Mtoto madam. My mom is a teacher. She's retired long time ago, Elizabeth. So guys were like, tusaidie. So this lady came, took a gunny bag, one of the sacks. Akaniambia, my son, you know me. I told her, I know you. I'm not doing this to hurt you. I'm helping you. When she tied the foot, they held it. They put us on a truck. Then from there, we went to a hospital. It's around a kilometer away, to the market where we were going to. There was some cattle dispensary
The
there.
trip must have been horrendous.
Terrible. You can imagine me. I always tell people, when you break your nail, it is that painful. And this one is where your bones are. They're broken. They're rubbing against each other. It was terrible. I remember when we got to, because the lady who had been knocked down was sleeping here. I was lying. We were lying on the bed of a
Oh, they've tried her. She's already passed on.
She was not already dead by then, but she died later. Then, because when I looked at her, I knew she was gone. And then I was seated next. I was lying here next. Then my brother Philip, and then there were around the other two guys who were injured. But I was the one who was seriously injured. So I remember first time when we got to the dispensary, these guys even refused to take us in. Because I remember there was a Nigerian sister there. I asked her, please just tell me the truth. Am I going to die? Am I going to die? And she told me, no, my son, you won't. So from there, my horror started. The horror, the beginning of my horror started from there.
So the horror wasn't even the accident?
It was not even the accident. We were taken to Kitale District Hospital. By then, my parents were not close. My mom had traveled to Kakamega. So by the time they're telling family, then they called to town. They had cousins in town. There's a cousin I mentioned in the book is called Eric Wafula. He's now in MCA in Kitale. When we were told they had been called, they rushed to the district hospital. So by the time I got there, these guys took me to a minor theater. You know where they do the simple stitching, those small minor wounds. That guy started working on me. I have never forgotten that doctor's face until I remember they were using this, I think, did you call them forceps or what?
They call forceps.
Trying to push the bone back. And you know, by then when the bone is like that, they're removing, because the truck was carrying maize, the marram, and then they're giving me local.
The dust, the local anesthesia.
Yeah.
So are you feeling even the local anesthesia?
I wasn't even feeling, I was feeling the pain. You know, somebody putting it in your marrow, putting metal in your marrow and trying to push the bone. Then he told me in Kiswahili, vumilia kama mwanaume. Nakumbuka nilimuuliza, and you are a doctor, but have you ever seen your leg? Have you ever seen your bone? And he left. Then I think from there I just lost senses, because I remember I think they had given me too much drugs, and then I passed out. I remember waking up somewhere in the night, I don't know. I was just seeing like it was a dream or something. I saw my mom, I saw my aunties. Then they had put some metal, because they didn't even now do anything. And they didn't even do anything, because now they said, no, I was to be transferred to the next hospital, you know, Mount Elgon. The next, when I was taken to the next hospital, I think it was that night, because I remember I was just carried with the bed, because they could not even move me. And then I had injuries, kila mahali. I was taken to Mount Elgon, another horror. This doctor, I'll not mention his name, I forgive him. I really forgive him, because he messed my life.
What happened?
He took me to theater with an open wound and put a cast.
On your leg?
On my leg. Because I think he went to try to correct, and then just covered the leg, the whole plus the wound inside. So the next day.
So that opens you up to infections.
Yes, the next day when I woke up, the cast was wet, it was green, it was smelling. My leg was rotting, Levi. My leg was rotting. That is when at least the family came in. I salute my late uncle Elijah. I really salute him. May he rest in peace. He said, no, my son will die. Looking for an ambulance in Kitale. No ambulance.
How many days have passed since the accident now?
I think it was around 3 days. Looking for an ambulance there. No.
What is your frame of mind at this moment?
I'm just in another world. Levi, I actually didn't know what was going on. There's some things there I just don't remember, because I think I'd given up, because I was just seeing, no, this one I'm not making it. The way, in a span of 3 days, you've been moved from 1, 2, 3, you're going to a third hospital. It means it is not easy.
So were they able to find an ambulance?
They didn't. Then there are this purge of 505s, because there was no ambulance in Kitale. And I think we are losing so many lives through carelessness, where hospitals don't have ambulance, where a patient can be taken somewhere and an accident victim can be taken somewhere and be rushed. Because when you look at these other countries, they have ambulances, they have air ambulances.
Yeah.
You get an
Even
accident.
how we handle them.
Yeah, how we handle them. I was handled very roughly. I don't blame the people from the scene, but from the hospital, the first receiving hospital, and then Mount Elgon, and then the doctor who worked on me first. So I was put in a wepesi, they removed them, and you know, Levi, with my height. The road from Kitale to Nairobi by then, remember, was terrible. So every bump, I remember that driver, I was seated with my cousin, it's called Steve, in that vehicle. Remember the driver, and then I'm stinking because my foot is rotting.
Are there other people in that vehicle?
I was with the driver and my cousin Steve. My foot is rotting. It is smelling. Paka namwambia boss, vumilia tu, he tells me, no, relax boss. Relax, tutafika. It took us 12 hours from Kitale because every small bump, any small, I was screaming because I was feeling the pain. Paka kwa kichwa nasikia. I would have gone berserk.
No amount of painkillers could have helped, nothing.
Nothing. And then I had been given too much. Then, you know, the local, then after that, the theater. Even before I recovered well, I was in another vehicle going. I know with that pain, Levi, there are some pains you can't say a painkiller can't.
And a lot of things were happening very fast.
They were so fast. I was just fit. I was supposed to have lunch at home. I'm not home anymore. I'm somewhere, I'm struggling to get to hospital. I go to Kenyatta. We got to Kenyatta around 7 p.m.
Yeah.
My friend, I was admitted at 2 a.m. Casualty.
Yeah, it's sad. It's almost 20 years later, and it's not changed much. It's sad.
From 7, it is cold. By then, I couldn't even now lift my head because I'd lost so much blood. If I tried to lift my head like this, I would yet, like my head wants to burst. 7 good hours. I was admitted, and then my uncle had organized, I was supposed to go to a private room. Kenyatta said, you have to pay first a deposit. I think it was 30,000 by then. It is at night, 2 a.m. I was put on a bed with another patient.
Oh, and
No painkillers, no treatment. My foot is rotting. The cast is now green. By the time the doctor came, I don't remember his name, but I think I'll remember it. By the time he came, kitu ya kwanza asubuhi, when you opened like this, pus, green stuff, stones, maize, grass, just poured out like. Then I remember just asked me, who did this? Was this a doctor? I told him yes. He said, oh my God, prepare him for theater. That is theater number 2. Number 2.
No.
In a span of 4 days.
So you go to theater now.
I go to theater.
What happens this time?
Now I go to theater first. They have, because now the whole portion of skin and meat and everything was rotten and it had just to be removed. Then I had to start a process they called surgical toilet, where they were just trying to manage the wound and clean it, not treating.
Yeah, it's just removal of gunk.
Gunk and everything, and until when I came back from theater, the gate doctor came and looked at me. He told me, Jimmy, if you would have not gotten here yesterday, we would have lost you. Because the poison that was entering your blood system, your bone marrow. And by the time I got there, the bone was already infected. It's called osteomyelitis or something. Where it just removes some green fluid. Green, Levi, green.
Okay.
And
So
then they did what they call, it's called packing. Until I developed tonight.
yeah, it's called packing.
They
I know.
pack the wound, yes, you know it. You've gone through it, my
They
brother.
pack the wound, yes.
They pack the wound. So they were packing the wound, and my bones were just like this much, around 4 or 5 inches, were just exposed, and they were just apart. Both the tibia, and it's called the tibia and the fibula.
Yeah, the fibula and
they were like.
It's interesting. You know these things now. You know, I'm telling you, when you go through a medical thing, you become sort of a.
I know.
an expert in the...
You can even prescribe medicine, I'm telling you, because the drugs you take, the injections.
The tibia and the fibula, yes.
And the bones were separated a distance, it's major distance like this. So the doctor was telling me we just have to manage first the infection. Then from managing the infection is when we'll see if we can save your leg. We will see if you can save your leg. And secondly, you don't have blood. And Levi God has been very good, was very faithful. That is why I donate blood. Anytime I see somebody in a problem, I will always come and give blood. I was never, ever given even a pint of blood. Until the doctors told me, Jimmy, you're just a miracle. I don't know.
You just had enough blood.
I just had, it was...
So they've done this packing.
Yeah.
And he says, we will see if they can.
So from there, I went to theater, I think around 4 or 5 times. Those ones you go there, 2 hours, they clean, wash the wound, you come out. Until theater became home. Now, you know where you go to theater and people know you by name.
And you're still admitted at Kenyatta?
Yes. Kisembe umekuja. You understand? They even know you by name now because you've gone there, you've gone there. Then after that, those 3 times, the doctor told me, okay, now what we're going to do, we're going to try and reconstruct your leg, and we're going to put some metals for you. For me, I didn't know what kind of metals they were going to put. So it was that is the first time external fixators.
You're probably thinking it's inside.
Yeah, I think
they're going to screw something.
Then this one, then because I've had people with screws inside just walking.
Yes.
After a short while, and it gave me hope. So it's like I'm gonna come out of here. That's when I'm gonna come out of here.
So for the first time, you're feeling some hope.
Some hope
that at least things are gonna get better.
I was in theater. That was the 7th time I was in theater. From morning, I came back around 5. I think it was over 8 hours.
After theater. Yeah. I'm gonna pause you there before you tell us what you saw when you came from theater. We are speaking to Jim Kisembe, an accident survivor, also an author. He wrote a book about his experience. And he's talking to us about the experience he underwent after a horrific accident on a truck. We'll be right back after these messages. Don't go away.
Coronavirus COVID-19 is a respiratory virus spreading across the world. The infection is spread from